Ooh, we are live. Hello, everybody. We're going to have Rhonda Head with us here in a few minutes. Kurt's going to start off and sing you a song.
Well, I woke up this morning. Nothing seemed to be right.
Amen to that. Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Said I woke up this morning. It seemed like nothing was right. Hey. Well, all I've got is my guitar, yeah.
And a cigarette.
Well, nothing could be better than just sitting alone strumming. But I woke up this morning to all these problems, yeah. Well, I can't explain it. Why people say they like the blues.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
It's Tuesday. We made it here.
Yes, we are here. Hear me now.
I'm going to just keep this here.
You
Sir,
hear me now.
do you hear me now? I see you. Chelsea, it looks like you got them shades on. Your future's so bright you got to wear shades. Is that what happening, or what's going on?
Just trying to hide the disappointment of today's mess ups, I guess.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Everybody's human. So what's going on with you? What's happening? You got anything you want to get off your chest, or?
No, it's just really just struggles. It's all like it's all gonna come together, but this month is just not my month. Like just trying to figure out rent and bills and like the situation with my kids is like good, and then like nobody really has a good day when your house has been a mess for the last couple of days and you've just been busy just running around and just what I mean, like I'm like just figuring out ways to save $1, and that's not happening when the kids are like, I'm starving, and I'm like, I just fed you an hour ago. And I'm like, oh my gosh. It's just I get days like this where I'm super overwhelmed. But there's always tomorrow. My car didn't get fixed today. Someone else's vehicle broke down last night and had their vehicle towed there. So they just kind of bumped me off. And when it was my turn to get my vehicle fixed, I was like nearing the end of the day. I got, it's at least a 2-hour job. Had to pick up my daughter from daycare. Couldn't find anybody else to, help me just do that. And I'm like, okay, I can't get my car fixed today. Yeah, it was, and it's pretty scary actually, because like it's my brake rotor, right? So.
Well, you want to be safe, and you got 2 little ones, and You want them to be safe most of all, right? So I understand your frustration. But
Yeah.
like you said,
Definitely.
things will work out. It's just maybe not today, right? Like sometimes sometimes we got to just come to the realization, I think, that things do work out in time, but just not on our time frame.
Yeah, yeah, that can definitely happen. Whew. I think we've all had a crazy busy few days and weeks, so I feel that pain. Yeah, for sure. It's been crazy. I feel like I don't know which direction I'm going right now with the screenings and stuff coming up and everything that's been happening.
And we're
It's
getting
been
ready for
wild.
some shows with
Getting
our
ready
new
for some
band, and
shows and doing my own personal shows today. While I was on a Zoom meeting um, to do the screening, someone messages me. So, are you having trouble? Getting on the Zoom link, and I'm like, what the heck is this? So I checked it out, and they're waiting. They're 5 minutes into a show. I'm supposed to be performing on this Zoom thing. I'm sitting there in my clothes, in my morning clothes, like not shaven, hair not done, in like this like telephone meeting, right? And just oh yeah. So I run up, quickly throw on my hat. Joanna like throws on my has the vest. I throw on the vest, grab my guitar, and just yeah, it was
super Kurt.
it was crazy, and it's been crazy ever since. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. But yeah, like you said, I felt like that in the end too. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna breathe and just try to be positive and just hope for the better because there's a few moments where I was like,
And then he's got me messaging him. So when are you going to be here? I thought we were going to practice before the podcast. No, no, no help from me, anyways. Well, we do have a great guest this week, Kurt. Why don't you introduce our guest, and I'll bring her into the podcast, and we can all say hello. And
yeah, we have our good friend, world renowned performing artist that does many things and that has broken many barriers with her singing. And so I'm going to let her introduce herself, tell us about some of the experiences she has as a vocal artist in many different avenues of the music industry, also being involved with, creating spaces for Indigenous artists to keep performing through the pandemic and also creating her own award show to award First Nation Indigenous artists to be awarded for their work as artists. So, introducing Mrs. Rhonda Head, everybody. So, thank you for
hi,
joining us
Rhonda.
here, Rhonda. If you
Thank you
don't
for
know,
being here, Rhonda.
if you don't
That's
know
it.
Trent and Chelsea, this is Trent and Chelsea, and so thank
Very
you
nice to
for
meet
being
you.
here.
Nice to meet you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for reaching out to me and being part of your show.
Well,
Thank you for being here.
it's
Yes.
it's really quite awesome the podcast that you had started. Can you tell us a little bit about why you got the idea to start the podcast and how you begun to get your artists and how you went through that whole process?
Okay, sure. Well, I remember in early or about March 2020, the world just shut down and everything stopped. All the gigs got canceled and just like the music stopped for like a minute. And I just thought, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? As I was only concerned about Indigenous musicians because we don't really have much platform out there to showcase our music. So the idea of having the podcast Indigenous Superstars came to me, and I just did it. I had no experience interviewing, and I was scared to death. And when something scares me, that means I got to do it. So I did, and I did it to create a platform to continue showing our Indigenous musicians, their music and the stories they shared with me and the audience have been really amazing. And I interviewed 101 um, artists, and I took a break for a month because I am currently in school right now, and the assignments are a little bit overwhelming. So I'm just gonna take a break till I'm done, till I'm finished in June, and then I'll continue with the interviews again.
Well, sorry, I kind of jumped ahead before. I let my partners ask a question. Can you tell us a bit about your vocalization and how you got into your style of music, where it's taken you? I've seen that you've went to the Grammys and done a few awesome things with your vocals and stuff. So can you tell us about that?
Sure, I actually started singing in right after I graduated grade 12. I moved to Toronto, and I didn't know a soul. So I thought, well, nobody knows me here, so I'm going to do something totally out of the box. I was either going to go into voice acting or dancing, and because I already had a musical background, I decided to go into voice. And the teacher that I chose happened to be an opera singer. So I thought, well, hello, Sabrina. So I thought, well, I'm gonna, I was open to learning whatever, and I thought, well, if it's gonna be opera, I'm gonna be learning opera, and I fell in love with the music, and my teacher was really impressed with my voice, and he even asked me to audition for the Toronto Opera, but I was only like 18 years old, and I thought, what, that was too ridiculous of for him to suggest that to me, and I didn't know I had a voice, and because of residential intergenerational school trauma, I didn't have that confidence to and or to believe somebody to say that to me. So I missed great opportunity at the time, but things happen for a reason, and my voice has taken me all over the world, and I started composing some music based off the land out of Pasquia Cree Nation, and writing lyrics in Cree, and because I sing in the classical style, I incorporated the Cree language with that style of music, and I just did I was singing in Italian and Latin and Spanish and Portuguese and German, and then one day I said, hold on, wait a minute, I got to learn my own language. So that's when I started uh, learning Cree, and because I was studying music in Cree, some of my language came back to me, and that was a real turning point in my career, and that has taken me all over the world, like to Australia. I got to sing in the Cree language there, and one of their sacred lands in the salt flats of Burketown, Australia, where the Ganglita people live, and the salt flats are very sacred to them, and I was the first Indigenous performer to sing in another language beside their Ganglita language, which was the Cree language. So it's been really exciting, and because I sing in this style of classical, I got invited to practice with the Flin Flon Choir, and because that happened, I got to go perform at the Metropolitan in New York City at the Lincoln Center and at the Carnegie Hall. And because what happened in 2020 of May, we were supposed to go perform. I mean March, sorry, excuse me, and we were supposed to go perform at Carnegie Hall again in May of 2020. So that's been rescheduled. So I'm looking forward to going there again. It's probably one of the best venues I've ever performed in. The acoustics are amazing there.
Wow.
That's
That's
awesome.
incredible.
Rhonda, I got a question for you.
Okay.
You obviously take very good care of your voice to do the style of music that you do. Do you have any tips about vocal health for us? Because I know that I struggle sometimes in the winter months with some kind of allergies or something where I get really, my throat gets raw and stuff like that, and I have a tough time sometimes keeping my voice and singing shape. Is what I'm trying to say.
Okay, drink a lot of water, and you know, even though I'm a recording artist or a successful recording artist, I didn't mention I'm a 9-time international award winner, but
Wow.
I also continue taking voice lessons. So you know, doing warm ups, doing always warm up your voice before you sing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you know, the voice lessons is not an insult to anyone's voice. Voice lessons do is you create really good technique, and that's how you save your voice when you learn how to sing properly. And you could sing forever like the rock stars. I'm sure they you know they belt them out all the time, and you know
Yeah.
they know how to take care of their voices.
Sweet. Thanks for that.
Thank you. I've
Tell
been debating on finding and working with a vocal coach, regardless of my manager telling me to do it for the last couple of years. I had no idea. I mean, I've watched a bunch of them, you know, online and stuff, and giving tips and all of that, and I'm like, okay, well, I can do that, you know, but I do struggle with that. You know, the higher notes, and I end up singing louder, which then like really hurts my vocals and stuff like that. So that's really, yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm probably gonna look for a vocal coach now. Thank you for that.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And there's certain way how to position your mouth when you're singing high notes, because singing should never be painful or hurt you. And if you're doing that, you're gonna damage your voice. So I'm glad you shared that with me. So take voice lessons. They'll show you the proper technique on how to perform the high notes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
That's awesome. I got a quick question for you. I don't know if just because I really don't know too many opera singers that I can ask this question to. Do you find that there's similarities between our traditional powwow notes and some of the really high notes and opera? Is there some similarities there? And have you ever tried to sing some of the real traditional like powwow notes, the really high notes? I guess. Yeah.
Let me see. I don't think they're both totally different genres.
Yeah.
And I sing with CDs or YouTube channels. You know how the women come in and perform. You know, they belt it out really loud and clear, and that would be the same similar as an opera singer, but their styles are totally different.
Totally different.
Yeah, they're totally different because there's a certain way powwow songs are structured, and with
Hmm.
opera, it's like so many ways it's structured.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's almost like probably different scales, like pentatonic scale, and
Mhm.
oh yeah, for sure. No, I
Yeah.
totally understand that. So we also got like one of your songs ready to go. Would you like to introduce which one you would want us to share here first?
Okay, I'd like you to share 500 Years first. That was actually the first song I ever wrote and composed at the Banff Center. And I believe that the ancestors channeled through me to write the song. It's a song about our Indigenous history. And this song that you're going to be hearing is also nominated at the One World Music Awards in Europe. And I'm against 9 other musicians from around the world, and I'm really proud that this song is nominated because people are hearing our story.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Just before you play the song, Trent, I just want to say it has been a pleasure meeting you. I'm going to listen into the song, but when if you see me leaving the I have to leave here pretty soon for a Zoom meeting regarding the Canmore Music Festival. So, but I didn't want to miss, meeting you and talking to you and hearing all the wonderful things that you are out there doing and all the awards and stuff like that. So yeah, you can go ahead and play the song now, Trent, and I want to listen in. So just letting you guys know that.
100 years ago, across the sea they came, invaded our land, took away our home. Mother shared a story, cut her hair and braid, punished child for speaking Cree. Why were they so mean? Tell me how. Tell me now. How do I stop the hurting, the haunting, and the pain? 500 years, 500 years. The stories make me cry. People suffered so, stolen and abused. Genocide was here, but have they all gone? Sisters, brothers, friends, souls of beauty, each one, all loved. Tell me how. Tell me now. How do I stop the hurting, the haunting, and the pain? Tell me how. Tell me now. 500 years, 500 years. A prophecy was spoken, eagle and condor fly, side by side together in the sky. Our movement changed the world to save our mother earth. Our people danced together, each nation joined as one. Tell me how. Tell me now. How do I stop the hurting, the haunting, and the pain? Tell me how. Tell me now. 500 years, 500 years, 500 years, 500 years, 500 years, 500
Wow, that was so beautiful.
Yes. Oh yeah. That
I
was
didn't want
awesome.
to leave without watching the full thing. So enjoy the rest of the podcast, everybody. I will tune in later to watch the rest of the show after my meeting. So nice meeting you,
Nice to
Rhonda.
meet you.
Beautiful song. Beautiful.
Thank
Thank
you. That's our
Good luck,
song.
Chelsea. Rocket.
Yeah.
See you later, Chelsea.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
that was a very,
Powerful.
very powerful song. Like the day that I've been going through today, it was nice to just like sway and just feel your music, feel that healing. That's what a lot of times when I'm talking to youth, I talk about what got me into music. And a lot of it was healing, a lot of it was feeling. And when you're going through a rough day, I think that music helps you heal, and that's why I
Yeah.
write music. That's why I like being a part of it. And that's what I felt from your song. It was definitely powerful and felt good in the soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, music is healing for sure. I believe that. Yeah, and yeah, the song is sad, but that's our truth. And people need to. People from different cultures need to hear what happened to us.
It's true.
No, I totally
Mhm.
agree. I totally agree. And, I think like even when we talk about music healing, even the fact that we get to travel around to different communities and places, even beyond our own communities, and share just a touch of our culture, just a touch of who we are as Indigenous people is a part of that reconciliation that everybody's talking about. And, when they say the artist will be the ones that will help bring that message to the world, I think through songs like that, like 500 years. And as we're looking on the messages, people are very touched by the subject. And especially now with the with the recent findings in Kamloops, right at the moment myself, I'm just kind of stepping into a new area of arts, being a film guy, I guess, a film producer. I have my first film coming out called "They Found Us," and it's just me documenting the process it took on George Gordon's First Nation for them to begin the search for the unmarked graves. So I definitely, like you said, those truths are hard, but they need to be told, I believe, before we can have any sort of reconciliation. We first got to tell the real truth,
Yeah. And I think that was the beauty of your song too, Rhonda, is how
yeah.
Kurt said he got that feeling of healing from the music behind it, but you were also able to express real truths and raw emotions through the lyrics, right? So that's the
Mhm.
beauty of art, is you can have that prosody between like a good feeling and a bad feeling, right? You can bring them together and create something to make people think and to make people feel, and that's important.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So tell us about some of the stuff that we hear. This morning when we talked, you said that you were on your way to Winnipeg. You said that you're in school. Tell us about some of the things that you have coming up, performance wise, and where can people get a hold of your music? Do you have a website? How can people reach you?
They can reach me at rondahead.com and all the digital platforms. All my music is out there. My next performance is on Sunday at a fundraiser for Peguis, who's going through flooding right now. And I'm also getting auctioned off. They're doing a dating. They're doing a dating game, and they asked me if I wanted to participate. I went, okay. I'm known as Auntie Rhonda, so I'll take one for the team.
Good anti-Rondas.
Yeah,
Yep,
geez, you might have to make a new song after that,
I
Nancy.
think so. I think so. Take one for the team.
You might have to put some twang in that one.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Uh,
You'll be having people two step in. No,
yeah, I could do that. So I just want
oh
to say hi to everyone that's tuning in. It's like I've been reading the comments, and just want to welcome everyone and thanks for tuning in. And I know it's probably a nice day out there, and I'm happy you're here watching the podcast.
Yeah, so are we actually.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
nice to have people, tune in and say stuff and interact with us, because we like to hear what everybody's thinking when they're watching, because we're not always paying attention.
yeah.
No.
No, it's it's really good to see that you're you've also built a platform for Indigenous people
Yeah.
to receive awards. I know that you said that you have plans to make it even bigger in the future. Can you tell us a little bit about what you have planned for the future with your award show?
Okay, well, we just wrapped up our first our inaugural award show in January, and we did it. We pre-recorded it, then we released it online, and then we also announced that we're gonna have a live show, a live award show in Winnipeg next year. So probably yeah, towards September or something, or not September, probably towards the winter time around there. So we haven't sat I haven't sat down with the committee yet, but once we set a date, then we'll announce.
Beautiful,
Awesome.
beautiful. Well, we got another track here, and this is your latest track, I believe that you said. Can you tell us a bit about what inspired you to make this song and what it's about, and also if it's out, if people can purchase it and stuff?
Okay, well, this is a first. Actually a dance song, and I collaborated with a really awesome musician here in Manitoba. His name is Jeff Monkman, and he's like a world renowned bass player. He's been traveling all over the world, but he's from Norway House, and we were talking one day, and he asked me if I would record his song Rain Dance, and it's about people gathering together and the rain healing the earth, and it's just a really good dance beat, and I hope everyone enjoys it, and I hope they download it and give it to their local DJs.
Yeah, right on.
But it's
All
a
right.
totally different sound what I'm moving into, so it's different from the opera and that 500 years. So you'll hear it anyways. I hope you like it.
Right on.
Okay.
Let's check it out.
Look, I know most
Sorry, I
artists
gotta get
are trying
through
to
an
get
ad
their
first.
music on Spotify playlists.
We don't have Prime. We're not that
No,
rich.
we're just we didn't pay our subscription this month. Here, where am I now? Okay, I'm gonna hit play.
Oh, it's Rain Dance Remix.
Was this the wrong one?
That's
Okay.
that one, right? That one, Rain Dance, is currently on the Indigenous Music Countdown.
Oh,
Remix.
Yeah, but it's the remix. Yeah.
Give me 1 sec. I'll find it here.
so make sure that you guys all go out and vote for Rain Dance on Round Ahead at the NCI Music Countdown.
I did this video for school, so it's not really the final video.
Okay, okay. So we're just checking out the audio here.
Yeah.
Oh, they're enjoying it. They're enjoying it.
This is our home. So come on and raise your voice and sing all you're giving. Stop your feet so where you stand, so we can come together. Open up the skies and bring us back to life. Tell the sun to go away, come back in 7 days. It's coming towards us, directions change.
That's not right.
The clouds are approaching, here comes the rain. I've never seen it quite like this. Mother Nature is very honest. Her steps are flowing wide. It's who we are, what defines us. Open up the skies and bring us back to life. Tell the sun to go away, come back in 7 days.
All right. Good job. Woo-hoo. What's on here next?
I'm trying to press pause.
Oh,
I pulled it out of the stream already. You were just seeing it.
okay. No, that was good. I really, it seemed like I saw every single uncle move that he could, and there's a few auntie moves I seen in that video too.
Yeah, I was dancing along. I was like, yeah, Uncle looks like he had a good time in that one.
No, that was really good. It's definitely a lot different than 500 years, but I could hear them on the same, even on the same album almost, because you got the slow song but then the fast song, so it'd be like a nice mixture of different styles. But yeah, no, I really I enjoyed the dance song.
Yeah.
I was grooving through the whole
I
thing.
was almost thinking that Kurt was going to do a Michael Jackson impersonation because when we were teenagers, he used to dance like Michael Jackson. So.
That would have worked in there.
Speaking of Uncle Deadly,
Yeah. Okay, I won't tell any more stories. Stories about me too.
So I'm going into the recording studio on May 18, and I'm finishing up a song that I'm collaborating with Fred Mitchell, and that one's a tearjerker. But and then I'm re-releasing my graduation song, and I'm hoping to target the high schools to use it for their graduation, and it's called it's called Awaken, a graduation song, and it's such, the words are so powerful and empowering at the same time. So I hope that it gets out there for the schools to use for the high school graduates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's I can connect with you on that schoolwork. It's so important, and it's awesome to see our next generation stepping into their own. Coming from graduating or whatever it is they're doing. I've even myself, like just being at an event, I've had someone come up that was a dancer and say, "Hey, I saw you come to my school." Like when I was a kid, and it kind of inspired me to get into performing arts. And just the fact that that happened even just one time, I think it's worth what we do, as entertainers.
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure.
Definitely, yeah. It's
Well-
it's a fun it's fun to be a musician. I just love it.
Oh, totally. So where is your next travels to?
My next travel is to New York City on June 1st to the 2nd. I got asked to go to a CD release party. That's my jazz musician friends from Farmington, New Mexico, and they also asked me to perform with them. So I'm gonna go sing some jazz music in New York City.
Oh, that's pretty special.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
So you're, I'm sure that, do you have some special New York shoes, or are you going to get?
There'll be special New York shoes for sure.
The reason I say that is because Rhonda seems to, not seems to. I think Rhonda has a shoe for every city, maybe.
I think so. Every performance.
I'm lacking in my shoe game then because I
Yeah.
don't have one for every performance.
Yeah, he's like, I got one set of shoes.
Yeah. And then when they're wore out, I buy a new one.
Yeah, one set. I go to the gym. I perform everything.
Well, I have lots of shoes. That's what I'm known as, and I get my fans to help me choose what shoes I'm gonna wear for my performance, and they love it.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Well, it was really awesome to have you come on the
Yes.
podcast. I think that all of us that are involved in this podcast will be applying for the next award show that you come out with. All of us have new albums,
Yeah.
and so
Awesome.
we're excited for that. And keep us posted on anything that's going on. And if your podcast revamps or continues here, make sure you get Trent or Chelsea or myself as a guest. We'd love to join you for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, for sure. All right, awesome. Like, thank you for having me and reaching out to me to be part of your show. It was a lot of fun.
Right
I had a
on.
great time.
Well, I'm glad you did.
Me too. It was very nice meeting you, and finally, meeting you kind of virtually in person. Anyways, I've heard your music before, but it was nice to talk to you. Anyways.
So
for sure.
somebody
Thank
asked.
you.
Let's read some of the comments before we let Rhonda go. Here, there's some really cool
Oh,
comments
this one
that
here.
happened.
What are voting for the Indigenous Music Countdown?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
that's imc.ca or
it's indigenousmusiccountdown.com.
there you
That's
go.
where
There
you
you
vote. Yeah.
So go there and vote for Rhonda's song Rain Dance.
Rain dance.
Rain Dance.
Yeah.
Give her
Yeah,
a vote.
it's at number 19 this week.
Sweet.
Number 19. Let's
Help
get
her
it
get to number one.
number one.
Yeah, number one.
Sure. Yeah. So we had a lot of good comments in here. So, thank you for joining us. I think you brought some healing and some light to a lot of our guests. And thank you for being here.
Thank you so much.
It's
Bye,
awesome.
everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye. How about that? That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I had
Yeah.
fun laughing, and
Mm-hmm.
I had one comment here earlier that I didn't post because we started talking to Rhonda, but I just want to say hello to Ian here if I can find it, because
Let's see.
Ian plays mandolin on my recordings, and he always makes smart-ass remarks on the podcast or whatever. I never put them up, but this time
Let's
I
see.
can't seem to find him here.
Where is Ian?
Where is Ian Rossiter? I know you said something. Maybe he did. Oh, there he is. Oh, there. Here we go. Trent suffers from being too deadly. But we were talking with Rhonda, and I'm like, well, that's not the appropriate time to post that comment. So. Glad you were listening in, and yeah, I don't know. So what do you want to do next, man?
Well,
Chelsea
it's
had a meeting, and we had a good thing with Rhonda.
yeah, no, it's just I'll tell you guys a little bit about my busy, crazy day here. I, as I said, I was in a crazy morning with being pulled into a show that had already begun. But the lucky thing is that I got to finish the show
Yeah.
because it was on a Zoom thing, and I threw all my stuff on and got to finish that. But as the day progressed, man, it was crazy. It got really busy for me.
Yeah.
And so, I feel, Chelsea's pain of going through the stress of that. And,
Well, today I was busy too. Like I'm sitting on a grant committee, and we're adjudicating the grant applications for one of the grants that's coming up. And today I went through 30 grant applications, reading what people want to do and writing down my comments so I can get ready to sit in on the actual thing in a couple days. And yeah, that's a lot of work too. Just, looking at everybody's artistic ideas and where they want to go, and, just thinking about everything that goes into everything that we do, like your film, everything that you got to do with that. And Chelsea wants to do some more recording and wants to apply for some grants, and it's a lot of work. And we got to remember, put in a lot of work for very little reward sometimes in this business, and it's the only the strong survive. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah, it is.
if you don't have the right resolve to make it through the tough times, you're not going to be doing music for the long haul.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like I've been doing it now since I was 18. I'm 47, so that's damn near 30 years now, and I guarantee you that I struggled 90% of the time, but I'm still doing it, and I'm still here, and I'm still being creative, because that's what drives me to exist is
Yeah,
creativity. And that's why you're here. I know that. And
yeah,
that's why Chelsea's here, even if she had a bad day,
yeah,
like
yeah.
she'll be back, and she'll, dust herself off and say, okay, let's do it. Like, because what else can we do? We got this little mouse in our head that's always making us think about stuff.
It's so true. So just to let you guys know that I do have a screening that's going to be coming up with my new documentary called "They Found Us." It's going to be screened in Regina on May 18th. And May 17th on George Gordon's First Nation, and sometime in June in Calgary, and we're trying to make a listing for Edmonton here as well to screen my first documentary. It's a film just on the search for unmarked graves and the process that goes into that, because you hear on the news, oh, well, they found, 215 disturbances in the ground, and what does that really mean? Like, what is the process that goes into the community, into planning it? What is the first searches before they bring in the machines? Like the
and
whole
that's
process,
important for people to know, because this is going to continue to happen. Like, they've only searched a small number of communities that had schools, so we're just at the beginning of a very long journey.
Yeah.
And it's important to document this from our own point of view.
Yeah.
As Indigenous people, so often our histories have been written down for us and told us how to think about them. People need to hear our own histories from our own voices.
Yeah.
And that's why what you're doing is so important.
Yeah.
It's great that you're doing that, but can you spend a little bit more time with the band? I applaud your work, but fuck, we need to practice.
Well, yeah, that is true. It's spreading it. There's that Uncle Deadly again.
Oh yeah, I swore and I didn't even think about it.
That's all good. No, but it's spreading yourself kind of thin as an artist, but I think it's important to do as we get into this next stage of our artistry, is to expand ourselves, like you with producing and stuff. But we have some awesome on July 26th. We're going to be playing on the King Eddie rooftop in connection with the Calgary International Blues Fest. Cindy McLeod, I want to give you a big love, big shout out, big supporter of Indigenous music. So
we got some shows coming up this summer. We got July 1st in Red Deer at the Bower Ponds show. That's a big festival, one day festival in Red Deer. And then we're doing Casino Dene. We got another one in July. Yeah, a few little festival shows popping up here and there. Heart of the City Music Festival, that's our first one coming up June the 4th.
Yeah.
So,
and we're also going to be playing at the Blues Can as well.
That's right.
We might be planning it for the plan is to try to plan something for June 21st, because I think most of us are free. We'll see what happens, but somewhere in June maybe or July. But the Blues Can in Calgary will be somewhere that we'll be.
So we're going to be in two cities all summer long. Edmonton and Calgary. Well, actually Red Deer too, and then it'll be. And then we all do our own things too. Like you're going to be doing some of your filming. Russ plays with everybody, and so does Trevor, our drummer, and Chelsea's got all kinds of stuff going on, and I'm playing bass for a few shows with other people this summer for a few festival things. So it's going to be a busy summer, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna be definitely doing a lot of different things, and it'll be nice to see all of you in the community. Speaking of which, I don't think that Trent has actually pulled out one of the shirts that we're going to be sending Rhonda and our guests from now on, and I think we're going to be doing some contests.
We could do a contest.
Some contests with our guests. Check out our brand new shirt, everybody.
This is so big it fits me. But it's got, do you hear me now? Amplifying Indigenous voices. Got a nice big canvas here on my Uncle Belly.
Yeah, and I think.
But we're also going to sell these for $25 a piece. So inbox our Facebook page. Do you hear me now? Facebook page. And I do have a web page as well that I'm going to put up an online shop on, but that's probably going to take a little while because we got so many other things going on. But I'm working on it.
Yeah, can we get a little close with that?
Yeah, you can definitely.
Let me give you a little scenery here, everybody. I don't know how close I can get, but
I'll tell you in a second. A little bit more.
Check that out.
Go up now. Yeah, right there.
Look at that, everybody.
Right. There you go. Yeah, $25. Unless you want 5X, it's $30. No, but we're trying to give those to our guests for, donating their time and sharing their stories with us.
Yeah.
So this is something you don't know. I also started a Spotify playlist for our podcast. So it's got most of the guests that we've had on there. So now I'm going to have to add Rhonda Head on there.
Yeah.
And it's got a couple songs from Kurt, a couple of mine, a couple of Chelsea's, and a couple from every guest that I could find on Spotify that we've had. So we got about 26 songs on that playlist. It's going to keep growing. So go on there and like the playlist, and you can hear all these great artists that we've been bringing to you, because that's important too. Sharing, and helping artists. I don't know what that says. Let me see.
I'm as old as a fossil.
That is true. Hi, Kathy. That is actually Kathy. That's Mike Larson's auntie. And she herself is an Indigenous musician. She played in a family band in the late 60s and in the 70s. I better not say she's that old. And Kathy's a wonderful singer, and they play country music. That family was a big part of me learning how to play music too. I spent a lot of time with Tiki and Carrie when they'd have family functions and going out there to Caroline to jam. So
beautiful.
Kathy saw me dragging a guitar around at a hall when I was 3 years old. So I have been around music for a while, people. That is just the evidence right there.
So, I think my bro's kind of been a bit modest about his new release as well. So can you just tell the people about your new album, where they can process it, what it's about?
Yeah, it's been good. I've had some good response already. I've got some college stations in the US picking up the album and playing it. And there's another one of Mikey's aunties. Hi, Judy. I hope you're doing good. The new album is songs that I wrote that pertain to Indigenous homelessness. Just trying to bring a little bit of, light on that issue. And I did an interview on CBC earlier this week here in Edmonton, and they featured a couple of the songs. And yeah, it's been good. Like I said, people seem to be liking it, and it's just a collection of roots music. For people that don't know, is like country music that doesn't have hip hop beats in it. But yeah, so my new album's out. It came out May 1st. You can find it on all online things. You can go to thickerthanbloodmusic.com. That's my label's website, and I have other artists that I have been working with on there, like Louis Goose, who is actually an Aboriginal People's Choice Award Lifetime Achievement Award winner. I recorded the only recording that he's done so far, and I'm hoping that we get an opportunity to do more with Louis. There's some stuff from my dad up there, stuff from Niji up there, our band. So yeah, check out thickerthanbloodmusic.com. Check out Trent Ajakude. Check out Kurt Young. Check out Rhonda Head.
Yeah.
You guys all check out Chelsea. You guys,
Yeah.
check her out because she's gonna have new music coming soon. And to end the podcast off, maybe I'll just do one song because we're pretty close to the end.
Sounds good. What's the name of your album?
A Place to Call Home.
A Place to Call Home. Check it out, everybody.
And A Place to Call Home, that's like that's actually the slogan for Edmonton's plan to end homelessness. After they had a 10-year plan, and then they had to extend that plan a little bit longer, and that's what it's based around, is like everybody deserves a place to call home.
Mm.
So in that spirit, I'll do the song A Place to Call Home. Ran short of cash just before rent was due. A week till payday, so you'll do what you always do. Get down to the pawn shop, got that strap in hand. Well, it's been 2 months since you played with the band. Still $100 short, what's a poor boy to do? Swallow that pride, call up a friend or two. 2 hours later, got that phone in your hand. Gotta risk the lecture, call up mom and dad. And what would you do if no one picked up the phone? With no family or friends, we walk these streets alone. We all deserve a place to call home. We all deserve a place to call home. We all deserve a place to call home. Almost forgot that chord. Only 2 weeks in and you're sleeping rough. Not much choice, you only had $100. Get down to the shelter, got your strap in hand. Well, it's been 2 months since you played with the band. Still $100 short, what's a poor boy to do? It's down to survival, you do what you gotta do. A friend's got a couch, but a wandering hand. Ain't nothing free in life, and now you understand just what you do. No one picks up the phone. With no family or friends, you walk these streets alone. We all deserve a place to call home. We all deserve a place to call home. We all deserve a place to call home. All right. And thank you, Chris Scott. I agree. It is a great song. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we hope you tune in next week. We had fun. We sang some songs. Well, me and Kurt did. Hopefully, Chelsea will come in person next week and sing you a song. Actually, we could go out with one of Chelsea's songs on YouTube.
Let's do it.
Let's look for Chelsea Young here. Let me see. Chelsea Young. I don't know. We'll
when
share
advertising
one of
on
her live
YouTube,
videos.
I know that making an authentic
That'll be
video
almost
with a
like
clear
having
call
her
to
live
action
here.
is the key to getting results.
You rescued me from reaching for the bottom. brandy. I stay strong, don't go love all the time. Well, I'm for love in all the same old places. Down the bottom of the bottle, always dry. But when you poured out your heart, I didn't waste it. 'Cause there's nothing like your love to get me high. So you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. And I stay so don't go love all the time. So you're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. I stay so don't go love all the time.
Night, everybody.
Yeah, I stay so don't go love all the time.
All the time. And that's all the time we got left. See you next week.